And on a prior video, I reviewed the WOLFBOX G840 mirror dashcam. If you have not seen that full review video, I'll put a link to it in the description down below. On this video, I'm gonna focus on showing you all of the menu features and my best recommended settings for this dashcam. I'll also have placed a link in the description to this dashcam in case you want to look at this further or acquire one for yourself. And let's begin with how to change the views. And that is done by swiping on the screen. That's the front view. Swipe on the screen one more time and that is the rear view. We also know that the views are adjustable. I can slide my finger on the screen and that's going to adjust the view. And there's also a button right here. If I briefly tap that power button, the screen turns off, the dashcam continues recording. If I briefly tap that button one more time, the screen comes on again. That same functionality is also on this corner. There's an invisible button right here. If I tap that, that turns the screen off while still recording. If I tap that corner one more time, the screen comes on again. And we can also double tap the screen, and that is gonna flag the current video that we happen to be recording at the time. Perhaps we saw something interesting and we wanna find that video later. Double tapping on the screen flags the video so we can very quickly retrieve that specific video later. But also we can take a picture, and to get access to that picture mode, I'm gonna tap on this little dots right here, and as you can see, now there is a little camera icon. If I press that camera icon, we have taken a picture. You'll also notice that there's a couple more icons on this side. This icon in the middle allows us to stop the recording, and if I press that one more time, the recording resumes. I'm gonna stop the recording, and let's say that we wanna look at the videos that we have recorded. Well, that is done with this little clock icon. If I click on that, it's gonna take us to the playback menu where I can click on a particular video and watch it on this screen. You'll also notice that the videos have been sorted out into 3 folders. This is normal video that has been recorded by the dashcam. This is video that has been flagged by the dashcam as being of interest. Perhaps it detected a car crash, or the video in here was flagged by us by double tapping on the screen. This is where we would find it. And then we have a folder where we would find the pictures that we have taken. And if we wanted to delete any of these videos, we can click on this little pencil icon, select the videos that we do not want, and we can hit the trash icon and that will delete them. And to go back to the prior screen, I'm gonna press on this little arrow right here. You'll also see that there's a little lock icon. That icon does the same thing as when I double tap on the screen. That just flags the video that we're currently recording so we can find that a little bit easier. And finally, the last thing that we can change on this screen is the view. If I tap on this little square right here, that's gonna switch the view. Tap on the little square again, it's gonna switch the view one more time. But now let's go into the settings, and you'll notice that I have to stop the recording in order for me to access either the playback menu or to access the settings of the dashcam. I'm gonna click that settings icon, and as you can see, the very first icon is gonna be storage. So this shows us which memory card we have loaded. Right now we have a 32GB memory card, and if I tap that, it's gonna show us how much video, how much photos have been taken, how much capacity has been taken, and it's also gonna give us the option of formatting the memory card and deleting all evidence in one shot. Now, it is also recommended to use this menu to format a brand new memory card that has just been installed in the dashcam. And the next option is going to be recording time, or what people refer to as loop recording. All dashcams record in loop recording, and that means that they record video continuously, but they segment the video into smaller manageable chunks. And here we can tell the dashcam how big those chunks of video should be. Should it be 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes? There is no wrong setting on here. This is just a matter of preference. I like to have mine in 3 minutes. I think that's a nice manageable file size. The next option is going to be recording the sound. The dashcam is recording video, but it's also recording sound. However, we can turn that off and it's only going to record video. I recommend we leave this setting on because we can always get rid of the audio later if we don't need it. And the next option is going to be the G sensor. This dashcam has the ability to detect that you got into a car crash, and when it senses that you got into a car crash, it's going to flag that video so you can find that later. And here we can tell the dashcam how sensitive to be to detecting that car crash. If I set this setting too high, Anytime I close the door or I go over a speed bump, the dash cam is probably gonna think I got into a car crash. It's gonna be flagging videos. So I find that my dash cams run better when I put them on low, where I don't get too many false alerts. However, I recommend experimenting with the setting to find the one that works best for your vehicle. The next option is gonna be parking sensitivity, and you'll notice that we cannot enter this function unless we hardwire the dash cam, and this is the famous parking mode. If we hardwire this dash cam, there are gonna be two options inside of the parking sensitivity mode. One is gonna be to have the G sensor detect when somebody crashes into the car when the car is parked, or the other option is gonna be to run this dash cam in time lapse, where it takes a picture every so often so you have a compressed video of all the time that your car was parked. And then we have the rear camera flip. Well, what does that mean? Well, we can change the image of the rear camera like this. So let's go back to the front and let's look at the rear camera. As you can see right now, the camera is pointing in the correct direction. But if I were to place this camera upside down, I'm gonna turn this like this. There we go. Now, as you can see, the view is upside down. And I can correct for that by going into the menu settings. I'm gonna hit stop. I'm gonna go here, rear camera flip that guy, go back to the front. And as you can see now, we have restored the correct orientation of the camera. This is convenient if for some reason we mounted the camera in an unusual location. And the next option is gonna be this navigation bar display. Now what that is what is displayed on this corner. I'm gonna set this to power key, and I'm gonna go back here, click one more time, and as you can see, there's an icon now. Before, this icon was invisible. I show you how it worked. Now we can actually see the icon and push it again to turn the screen on or off. Now this just changes the icon. It doesn't change what that corner actually does. As you can see, if I change this to front and rear, going back to the front screen, now it shows us what view we are seeing. Right now we're seeing the rear of the vehicle. If I swipe that on one more time, now you can see that it's pointing towards the front. So it's telling us we are seeing the front view. That is the only thing that changes, the icon right here. You'll notice that if I tap this area one more time, it continues to work like that invisible power button. So it's just an icon. It doesn't change the functionality of this corner. The speed one is my favorite setting because when I put speed on here, on this corner, I'm gonna get the miles per hour and I'm gonna get a compass, which is only gonna come up with the car starts to move. That's why we don't see this right now, because we are not moving. And the next option is gonna be display mode. And as you can see, I have mine set to always on, and that keeps the screen on all the time because I like to use my dash cam with the screen on all the time. However, if I select auto off, then the screen is gonna automatically time out and turn off after a few seconds. And the dash cam continues to record while this is just acting like a normal mirror, but I like to have my screen on all the time. We can also adjust the brightness between low, middle, and high. Some people lower that at night a little bit or maybe very low. I run mine on high all the time. Then we have the volume. Now the volume right here controls not only that beep, but also the volume that we hear through the speaker when we play back video. I normally turn the volume off because I don't want to hear that beeping sound. And the next option is going to be time setting. We know that this dashcam is automatically pulling this information from the GPS. However, if we wanted to override that information, we can turn that option off and we can manually set a date and time. I'm going to click cancel here and re-enable the GPS date and time. Then we can also change whether we want this to be displayed in 24 hours mode, which some people call military time, or in normal AM/PM mode. But what if we have the GPS enabled and we still have the incorrect time and date? Well, that's where the time zone option comes in. We have to tell this dashcam what time zone we are located so it can correctly pull the date and time. And the next option is gonna be language. And this dashcam has quite a bit of languages that we can pick from. I'm gonna leave mine in English. And the next one is gonna be GPS information. There is nothing to change on here. This just shows us our current location and whether we have satellites or not picking up by the GPS antenna. And the next option is gonna be speed unit, and that allows us to change between kilometers an hour or miles an hour. Now we know that this dashcam supports parking assist, and that is done by connecting an extra wire to the reversing taillights of the car. Once that wire is connected, I can enable this, and that is automatically gonna bring up those reversing lines. However, since this dashcam does not have that red wire connected, I'm gonna turn that option off. And if for some reason we change something on this dashcam and we don't know how to return it back to normal, we can always reset it with the factory mode, and this is gonna ask us, are you sure you wanna restore the factory settings? And we can hit yes, and the dashcam is gonna return to how we originally got it when it was brand new. And finally, we have this About tab. There's nothing to change on here, however, there's quite a bit of interesting information in here, such as the model. We know this is a G840H, so you can see that there is an H right there, and we can see what resolution we're running. Currently we're running at 2K in the front and full high definition for the rear. And if we wanted to check what firmware we're on, here we can see that information. And it also allows us to see the status of the battery that's built in onto this dashcam right here. And now that you know how to use the WOLFBOX G840 to its full potential, make sure you hit the thumbs up button to support the channel. And if you have any other questions regarding this dashcam, please put that in the comments down below. Remember, I put a link in the description also if you'd like to look at this dashcam further or acquire one for yourself. And I have more dashcam reviews coming, so make sure you guys stay tuned so you don't miss my next upload. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.